Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Jazzy of Store Sasquatch here, and we are doing our horror movie night in the cave. I have a couple more Marvel movies and the two Evil Deads that came out recently to talk about for the obviously the upcoming release of Evil Dead Burns. We'll start with the Evil Deads. We'll start with Evil Dead, directed by Fede Alvarez, starring Jane Levy, Shiloh Fernandez, and Jessica Lucas. Five friends head to a remote cabin where the discovery of the Book of the Dead lead to unwittingly summing up demon living in the nearby woods. April 5th, 2013, this came out, had a budget of 17 million, opening of 25 million, so it's automatically in the black right there, and then a gross of $97 million. Speedy Alvarez ended up doing the Alien Romulus movie that came out recently too, and I think a couple other good horror movies. He's top director now, so they really kind of put it in the right hands. I think I read somewhere they used 800,000 gallons of blood, so I'm pretty sure it's like a swimming pool worth of blood. Right there, maybe a couple of swimming pools worth of blood. I really don't know the exact measurement, but it was 800,000 tons of or 800,000 gallons of water that they used, or not water, but blood, fake blood, which is crazy. And if you watch the movie, I mean, you see it. They used every bit of that 800,000, especially in the last sequence. They said it was like 750,000 gallons alone. So it's just a crazy ass movie. It kind of really does stay true to the old movies. He knew what he did. He had a direction, and he kind of followed it. And it is scary, creepy, good, grotesque, just like the original. Still has his lighthearted moments, still too, like kind of the comedy. It's not as much without Bruce Campbell, but it is still a little bit. There's no one at least trying to be a Bruce Campbell in this movie, which kind of helped. They get into the woods. It's just like the original. They get in the house. The kid says the names of the things written into the book, and he shouldn't have because he didn't understand what he was doing. And as he does this, it unlocks like a whole fucking thing. The one thing I mean, and then Jane Levy kind of is really good in this because she is the one that gets possessed, and she's the one that kind of does the most like craziest stuff about it, and it has to be into that 300 or 750,000 gallons of blood at the end, which I'm sure like none of them wanted to do. Crazy movie. I mean, a good lineage too afterwards with Fede Alvarez. The studio really kind of did it. Like I said, $97 million gross. Really good. 2013 is when it came out. If you have not seen this, it is on Prime. I believe I'm watching on. It is good. It's worth a check out. Especially with the new one coming out. If you're planning to go see that this weekend, which I am, I would check this one out. That is Evil Dead, directed by Fede Alvarez. And then we got Evil Dead Rises, directed by Lee Cronin, starring Mirabelle Pease, Richard Crouchy, and Anne Marie Thomas. A twisted tale of two estranged sisters. Reunion is cut short by the rise of a flash possessing demons, thrusting them into the primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. This movie, yeah, April 21st, 2023, had a budget of 12, opening at 24, so it made it black right there, and then gross of $147 million, which is not surprising at all. This one was badass. It is scary, it is spooky. There is jump scenes, there are just grotesque scenes that make you sick, kind of into the French horror kind of stuff. Lee Cronin obviously knows what he does, knows what he's doing because he did the Weapons movie, and I believe something else as well. So, that Mummy movie that just came out not too long ago. So he's like, he's there. I don't even think I've seen that Mummy movie honestly yet, so I can't really tell you what that is. But I mean, we all know what Weapons is. A good movie. I love Evil Dead Rises. I mean, Evil Dead Rises and watching it just the other night makes me like really excited to go see Evil Dead Burn tonight because it reminds you of just the crazy things they can do with the story with possessing demons and all that. And this is in a apartment building, and like it's during an earthquake, I believe, too. And like it gets wild, it gets heart pounding. You're at the edge of your seat, and at the same time, like you're at the edge of your seat, and it scares you back into it because you're so scared. It is a really good movie. If you've not seen it, I believe this one is on Prime as well, so I'll check that out. That is Evil Dead Rises, directed by Lee Cronin. On to our Marvel parts here. A couple franchise killers. I think this is about the last. Really, I think we can do Morbius and the New Mutants. So there's like maybe two more we can do here in the horror and just kind of get it out of the way. We're just going so far, but we'll start with Blade Trinity, directed by David S. Goyer, starring Wesley Snipes, Jessica Biel, Ryan Reynolds. Blade, now wanted by the FBI, must join forces with the Night Stalkers to face his most challenging enemy yet, Dracula. Parker Posey, Dominic Purcell, Chris Christopherson, Triple H star pop up in this. December 8th of 2004 had a budget of 65, opening of 16, and a gross of 131. So it kind of got the word around after not having a great gross, but also kind of comes with the Christmas time as well. This is like the least selling one of them all. This is not, and it's like the one like that's most notorious with everything that happened behind the scenes with Wesley Snipes, Ryan Reynolds, and just Wesley Snipes' attitude towards everything. I mean, he was checked out by this time. He had never done a sequel, let alone now we're into the trilogy part of this. He's been the same character now for like what, like 6 years, 7 years. And he's just never done that in his whole career, and there have been plenty of opportunities for him to do it. So yeah, that is crazy. It's crazy that he even got into this, and then like after this is kind of when we get the notorious like him going to prison and stuff for fraud, and like we all more stories come out about how like he was just showed up to set stoned and would tell them that they're just gonna CGI the fight anyway, so just put his head on it and like refuse to do crazy stuff. It kind of pulls up in this movie. It's still decent, and Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel and all them kind of carry it. Triple H is badass in this, but the background really has to carry it to kind of do anything. Because Wesley Snipes was just checked out by this point in time for this series of movies, which is important, which is unfortunate because really we could be on like Blade 7 right now, or we could have had a Blade Spider-Man crossover. We could have had some crazy good crossover, Blade Final Four, Fantastic Four crossover, some crazy stuff. You know what I mean? So we'll get eventually, eventually into this Marvel Cinematic Universe with Blade and stuff, but it just kind of a hit and miss here. That is Blade Trinity, directed by David S. Goyer. The next one we're going to talk about is another franchise killer, and so much different from the sequel or from there's a predecessor that is crazy, and that's Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, directed by Navaline and Brian Taylor. Nicolas Cage, Carola Hines, and Idris Elba pop up in this. Johnny Blaze, tortured by the Ghost Riders, Curse gets a chance of redemption protecting the Devil's Son, whose father is pursuing him. February 17th, 2012 came out. Budget is 57, opening 22, gross of 132, and not a very good movie. For some reason, they strayed away from like the cool stuff that was made the original first one really cool, like the Daredevil stuff and stuff like that. When we brought into Croatia and into like this whole child trafficking thing, which I mean, okay, yeah, we're trying to be poignant, we're trying to like understand, but like this is not, and it's kind of goes first. I kind of get like the child trafficking, but why are we in Croatia, wherever Romania, or wherever like Eastern Bloc European part of this world, and we're not into America? And it hurts us really bad. The Devil's Son again, it's kind of a repeat of the last one. The kid's not so bad in it, and the cool things that he does isn't so bad. It just everything else about this movie is just so stupid, and Nicolas Cage is just kind of cashing in a check at this point in time in 2012, which is unfortunate for Nicolas Cage. Unfortunate for Idris Elba because he's not like so bad in this. But I mean, like, how bad can Idris Elba be in something at the same time? So like, when you have like a level of talent, and like this movie is just an action movie, anyways, it's not really like a huge expectation of what your performance is gonna be. So like just him being charismatic and into the movie, it just makes him be good in the movie. Is basically what I'm saying there. And there's a couple, there's tons of good examples you can give of that just for an actor, but other than that, there's just nothing in this. This movie is like stale, boring. It's in Croatia or Romania or Eastern Bloc Europe. The stories are clearly different. The Daredevil aspect of his like career and everything is like gone, and on top of that, um, it's just a weak version of the Ghost Rider too. I feel like it's just unfortunate because I think this was like the start of the Dark Universe for them. Like, and they had to kind of pivot to the Spider Verse. So Sony just never really got the whole Marvel thing right, with whatever properties they had of them when they had them, which is unfortunate because they had some decent properties with like Spider Man and Spider Man, Venom, everything that like Venom would come with, Ghost Riders, as well as I believe Fantastic Four. That might have been Fox though. I forget what else Sony had, but I mean, they tried it. They tried it multiple times and they just couldn't get it done. So it is just whatever luck or whatever charm that Disney kind of gave these characters is no one else was able to replicate it, even into the DC universe. So that's just where we're at there. That is Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, directed by two of them, Mark Nevlin and Brian Taylor. That is our horror movie night in the cave. Next week we'll do some more old school Evil Dead, and we'll kind of skip out for a couple of weeks on the Marvel movies on this part of it. Oh, we will continue the Marvel movies on to the Throwback Thursday aspect of it. I will be seeing Evil Burn. I might just do a Monday morning review again this week for that movie. So look forward to that if you are a horror movie fan. This is the year of the horror movie when you really think about it, because there has been what, three or four solid good horror movie selling, and on top of it, we had the Scary Movie 6 parody as well. So horror movies are the thing of the year. So, and we're getting closer to Halloween time, so some bangers should be coming. That is our night. Like I said, have a good rest of your day or night, and thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section, and see you next time in the cave.